a life, love and purpose coach, and my mission is to help women to connect with their gift and their magic and craft that into something that's real, sustainable and a functional business that creates freedom and a solid foundation. That's kind of the perfect mix that might just feel like balance. I know we all say that we want balance, but if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not actually sure that I believe balance is a real thing. I mean, I know it's a word, and when you're standing on something high and you don't fall off, you are, in fact, balancing. But when it comes to life and living, I'm not actually sure I believe it's a thing. Well, not for women like me, and maybe not for women like you, if you're watching this. See, I'm a woman who loves lots of things. I don't want to stop learning or growing. I want to be a great mum and a beautiful friend and a hot wife and an ace sister and a funky auntie and a loving daughter and granddaughter. And I want to be amazing at my job and make a difference in the world and read 42 books at once and learn new stuff daily and talk intently to people about new stuff, and I want to dance in the kitchen, and I want to go to the beach and eat healthy and have a full and healthy and happy life. I just spent so much of my life wondering if it was actually possible. Like the concept of having it all and having a work-life balance and not feeling guilty about like fucking up some part of that or another, at least like, I don't know, once a day. I thought perhaps it would be better if I was less, or if I did less, or if I lowered my hopes and dreams. And I tried all of those things, sometimes for years, but it didn't make me feel balanced. I didn't feel overwhelmed, but it sent me down this other crazy road of underwhelmed. I wasn't after that either. So I decided to stop trying for balance, to embrace the part of me who is a bit like a lot crazy and a bit like a lot loud and a bit like a lot ridiculous, and just unapologetically be her. And I was going to go for gracious juggling instead. Like sometimes you'll drop a ball or three, and sometimes you'll get thrown off because some of the balls need to go faster or slower or a bit higher or just get out. Some of those balls, especially the ones who are your children, will be uncontrollable. And in all of that, I reckon you can still be gracious though. See, being a gracious juggler is the ultimate thing that I want for people. I think that, to me, is something that's way more achievable than balance. See, graciousness comes from a deeper place in you. Like, you know it. You feel it sometimes when everything is just flowing like it should be, and like so much is getting done and you're like totally winning. And it's natural, but it's not necessarily naturally easy, but it can be. So the work that I do is actually about that. It's helping us all as women not be less and not hide ourselves or our gifts in the impossibility of overwhelm or the terribleness of underwhelm. But it's just to be all of who you are that's possible where you are in your life right now. It's not actually about perfection. It's about realness. I want that for you. Graciousness. A way to have it all and find out what your magic is and be able to do it often and more than now. Like, and that thing that you do, it'd be able to support you and your family. Because it is possible. And I know how. But here's also what I know. Magic don't happen when you're stressed. It doesn't happen when you're cluttered. It doesn't happen when there are too many things in your head or on your desk. Like, magic needs some room to breathe. Like, magic comes alive in those moments of clarity when, like, everything else just falls away. To me, magic is like that moment where everything goes suddenly quiet and the air around you just kind of, I don't know, inhales slightly, and then something tense just lets go. Magic's actually in the little bits of every day that we sometimes miss in the busyness. So here's what I'm going to give you in this video. And this series is really to help with the overwhelm, which is the chaos and the busyness, and the underwhelm, which is the kind of Groundhog Day feeling that life is actually not enough. And then finding the ever elusive balance. So, first things first, you're going to need to create some time and space for magic. If you really want to make room for things to grow, including yourself, probably most importantly yourself, you're going to need to make some space for it. Space in your life, space in your head, space in your schedule. Now, I know the entire possible plethora of excuses that exist in the world not to do things. Like, I've used pretty much all of the excuses at one time or another. Some of my best ones include I cannot go to the gym because I have a bung eye. I need to clean out the pantry before I can write my next blog post. And even this beauty, which is there's not enough time to go to the toilet. So time in itself becomes one of our biggest excuses. But you know what? In truth, we always have time for the things we really want to do. We make time. Like, we're magic making women. We craft time. And we say no to some things to say yes to other things. Because along with time, you're going to need to make space. So this video is really about the very first step to calming the overwhelm. And the very first step is making space. Making space is about decluttering, about clearing out the old to make room for the new, about letting go of all the excuses you've made before. Sometimes it's actually about letting go of an idea or a rule about how things should be and getting some acceptance about how things really are. If you're going to actually craft a dream alive, you need to have some room to be able to grow it. Because from inside the dusty and cluttered box of survival mode, it's actually hard to see the dream or actually even believe that it can be possible. So, to start with, I want you to create a space to work in. Now, you may already have an office or a desk or a room in your home or at your work that you can use. You may not, but what you need to do, you're either going to pimp the space you already have or you're creating it. This space is where you're going to get focused, you're going to be undisturbed, and you're going to be able to sit down and create some calm, some peace. So if you actually can't imagine where this space can be, it's actually going to be time to get really, really creative. It can be in the corner of your lounge room, but I suggest that you find some screens or curtains to make it semi-private. It actually needs to be a space all in its own. So, I have a beautiful office. It has light curtains, but the kids can't see in. See, when they could see in, they would come past and see in, and chat, and knock, and wave at me. And you know, bless them. I want to work at home so that I can be around my family. But it is not my best work when I'm waving at my kids all the time. So, my office has a door. The deal is that when the door is shut, I'm not to be disturbed unless it's an emergency. In the hallway before the door, there is a set of curtains, which means when the curtains are hanging down, I have clients or I'm on a Skype call and I need some quiet and the kids aren't to use the hallway. When it's up, they can come past as they please, but my door is shut. I also talk to everyone about what I do. I mean, God forbid they just think that I hang out in there all day and play on the computer and have naps on my coaching couch. I actually talk to my kids and my support people and my broader family and friends about what I'm doing with people. So not actually about the people specifically, but they all know I see clients or I Skype people or I ring clients and we do cool stuff. I tell them how much I love it and how excited I am to do it and how sometimes I also have to do boring stuff like invoicing, and it's much quicker if I can be undisturbed and then I can come out and hang out with them. I've got a really big uncluttered desk. In the desk, I've got all the stuff I need, like paper, coloured pens, highlighters and staplers and folders and blah, 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 blah. So don't have to use that other lame excuse that I couldn't do something that I needed to do because I didn't have what I needed. Like, don't let the excuse of no printering be the reason. I've got a really good filing system. I've got a bin for stuff that I don't need, and I make sure that stuff I don't need anymore goes in that bin. I have a schedule, electronic, and a diary for noting daily intentions and things I think of. Systems and schedules are actually the bomb. And I want you to schedule in time. I want you to make space in your already busy schedule so there is time for you. I want clear blocks of time for work and for play and for you and for family and for sport and for each and everything. And then I want you to create a ritual once your space is sorted, so that when you go into that space, you have a series of things that you do that make it a magic-making space. So I can promise you that even if you're doing something that you don't love, which in my case is perhaps invoicing, even if it's not your favourite, you do it so much more with so much more productivity and focus if you're in a space that's made for magic. So a ritual goes something like this. Like, make a pot of tea in a teapot that is reserved especially for when you're making magic. Light a candle, turn off your phone, social media distractions, and close your door or pull the curtains. Make sure everybody knows to honour your space. Sit down and ground your feet. Close your eyes and connect to the energy of the earth below and the world above and around you. Take 3 really long and deep breaths here and just kind of breathe all the way out. Music really works for me, so I play a song that really connects with me. And then I just start. If you do this each time, it becomes a habit, and then you can automatically anchor productivity and focus to the space. Make yourself precious, your time and your space, just for this moment when you're in it. This is just actually about creating a space and ritual which helps you to stop and focus. And when you focus, that's just going to nail the overwhelm in the head. And the overwhelm is what keeps you caught in the underwhelm. When you've done that, that's going to be so awesome. You've made a start. But space itself isn't actually anything if you can't honour it because you have shaky boundaries. Once you've got space, and by that I mean the physical space, you're actually going to find that half the space problem was actually nothing to do with the physical and literally having a clear desk and some room, but everything to do with your boundaries or your lack of them. And boundaries are actually about emotional space. We're going to explore this more in the next video, and we're actually going to really sort that one out, because the next thing that comes up for you around this is way, way more powerful. And you know what? If this sounds like you, but you're not the kind of person who'll ever get into watching all 3 videos, you can actually fast track the whole process and click on the link below to schedule a chat with me so that we can work out where you're at and identify some of the gaps between where you are now and where you'd like to be. So, all that stuff, click the bottom below. I actually can't wait to chat with you soon. For those of you, I'll see you in the next video, where we're really, really going to smash this boundaries thing. I cannot wait. Mwah!